All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome, Franchise Opportunities, to you, elite entrepreneurs and empire builders. Man, I am excited, ecstatic about today. Welcoming on a new friend of mine, CEO of Skill Samurai. And Jeff Hughes. I'm excited about him hopping on and kind of sharing about the success of this company, this brand that is going to be, it's going to be a pretty unique brand for many of you. It's probably something most of you have never considered. A brand, a franchise inside of the child development and education space. So if you're looking for a brand, a company that is not only providing some pretty incredible profits for franchisees, but also providing a purpose. If you're looking for something that has like the two birds with one stone there, the golden gem, this may very well be it for you. And so I'm excited to bring him in on. Before we do, I kind of wanted to cover real quick what we do here at Franchise Opportunities. We help entrepreneurs like yourself find their next best franchise investment. I love working specifically with family leaders who have a desire to create generational wealth, who have a desire to build something for the purpose and sake of their family. As you can see this picture of my family, myself. This is who I'm doing this for. This is why I'm doing what I do. Why I help others is for the sake of my own family as well. And I truly care about you and your future. Listen, if you don't pursue a future franchise, if you don't succeed, I don't succeed. So you are why you are the one that I care about most in this, right? So when it comes to franchising, it's not for everybody. If you're someone who you want to call the shots and create your own systems and do your own thing, please, that's great. I would love to see you find success in that. Franchising may not be for you though. Part of the benefit of going to franchising is coming into a system that is already proven, is already wildly successful, and they're handing over the keys to that success to you. And so, and if you're someone, so that's really how who I want to work with. And how it works real quickly, very simple. Number one, we start with a strategy session. Okay, well, I'm going to get to know you a little bit more and what you are really looking for. Number two, I'm going to present to you the best franchises out there for you specifically, curated to who you are and what you're looking for. And then from there, I'm going to introduce you to the franchise developer or the next best person you need to talk to start a conversation with that franchise. Okay. And really what we're doing today with this interview is we're kind of skipping those first couple steps. And we're going straight to the source of this franchise itself. We're going to bring on here Jeff Hughes, the CEO of Skill Samurai. Excited to put in front of you so you can learn so much about this wildly successful and unique brand. So, Jeff, welcome to Franchise Opportunities, my friend.
Thank you, Jared. It's great to be here. Thanks for making time for me.
Yeah, no, likewise, man. I know your schedule is busy. And so I'm just honored that you would kind of carve out time to be here with this community and to put this brand in front of such a group of elite entrepreneurs. And so let's just dive right in because that's why they're all here, right? That's why they're watching this even at a later time, is to hear about the brand itself. So let's start with just tell us about yourself, give it a little bit about your story of where you've been and how you got to where you are today.
Oh, that's a big question. I spent probably from the time I was 20 till I was 40, working lots of jobs that I didn't fit in with, thinking that I was a horrible employee. And I was, but I was because I was always trying to help them reinvent their business. Or, I worked with teenagers in nonprofit situations and ministries. And I was always trying to set the vision for the people who worked above me. And most bosses don't like that. So I was always butting heads against them. And I turned 40. I was unemployed for like the third time. And I had
life of an entrepreneur, huh?
Well, I wasn't an entrepreneur yet. Okay. So I was, I didn't celebrate my 40th birthday. Next year will be my 50th birthday. So it's been a great decade, but I was depressed. I did not know what I was going to do with my life. And I started trying to teach myself computer programming online. And I was not very good at it. I'm not a detailed person. But as I was going through this, I learned that there are countries like Estonia that have a comprehensive curriculum for kindergarten through grade 12 to teach kids computer science. And I went to my kids' school, and they had 3 computers for 350 kids, and they were running Windows 97. So I thought, how are my kids going to get jobs in the future if they don't even have computers?
Right.
So I talked to some other dads. They shared that same concern. So I started by offering summer camps. And I had been working previously as a franchise coach and mentor. So I spoke to my old bosses. We still had a good relationship, even though I wasn't a good fit. And for the next probably 4 years, they mentored me and helped me build the business, build the brand, create the operating procedures, created the sales procedures, so that even when it was just me and a couple of franchisees, I still had the backing of this business that had 120 franchisees. So it was really a smooth way to go from having no experience, no business training, to being able to run a franchising business.
Yeah, well, that's a beautiful picture of really what the franchising world is. It's a so much based on partnership. And so even how Skill Samurai was formed very much in the likeness of the franchise world, of how do we form these partnerships to find success for all of us, right? So tell us then about the brand itself. What does it do beyond upgrade people from Microsoft 97? What does it do? And how does it do it?
Yeah, so in my realization that kids weren't being given computer skills, it led to the next thought that there are a lot of skills that schools just can't teach. It's through no fault of their own. The workplace is changing rapidly. All of us are familiar now with AI over the last 12 months. The world just changes so quickly. And I talk to principals, I talk with teachers. They wish they could teach this content, but they're really stuck in a system that they have to teach things to graduate kids with the same test, standardized testing. So they really can't be too creative. So when I came up with the concept for Skill Samurai, it was with that idea that there will always be a gap between what schools can teach and what employers are looking for. So we do a lot of coding. We do AI, robotics, engineering, all with that idea of by 2030, 85% of the jobs that will exist don't exist yet. So I saw in your picture, you've got kids. They are going to school, or they are learning for jobs that don't exist yet.
Right.
How do we prepare them for that? And I believe we do that by making them excited, by making them confident that they've learned one language so they can learn more. But a Skill Samurai franchise is an enrichment education business. So whatever kids need at school, or whatever kids need that they're not getting at school, we can provide programs for that. Wow.
Yeah. So are you guys like how do you make that happen? Is it a partnership then with the schools? So is that what the work, what the work of a franchise owner does? Like, is that they go in and they develop these relationships with the area schools, or what does that kind of look like?
Yeah, we run programs in our own centers. What we're seeing the most success with is really the way I started. I would go to different schools. I would bring donuts and coffee. Being in Canada, donuts are a big thing. But you show up there.
Tim Hortons, is that right?
Tim Hortons, exactly. Yeah. Right. So you're building relationships with the principals, with the teachers, with the librarian, with the secretary. And through that, we have kind of systemized, here is what you do to get in front of the PTA. Here are the fundraisers we can offer. And when you build relationships with these businesses or schools that can refer students to us, then you get students. We had an owner over the last 2 weeks. She gave free 1-hour coding classes to over 600 students at 2 schools. So all of those students are going home with information on our after-school programs, information on our summer camps. And they're going to sign up because they had a great time. Yeah. So our model is really, we're focusing on what we call on the go. So we have owners that meet in YMCAs, churches, colleges, community centers. The cost per week is really low because you're only paying for the time that you need to have a class. You're not paying for a building 24 hours a day. So it keeps the operating costs low and allows them to be, I went to 5 different schools a week. I could be really spreading out throughout my area. And that's what our owners are doing. An owner at the YMCA in the Houston area goes to 4 different YMCAs a week. So being mobile, it gives you that flexibility.
Yeah. Are your owners, is this full time for them, or are you looking for owners that they can do this semi-absentee, or what are you looking for?
Yeah, we found a wide variety, everything from the person who's looking to replace their income. So last year, I think 7 of our owners were teachers and they left education and now they're doing this. We also have owners who are more on the investment side. So they are buying a territory of 3. In the last couple of years, we've sold 4 territories of 20 that they could then resell. So we're attracting everyone. What I tell people kind of echoes what you said, is that we're only looking for people that Skill Samurai fulfills their vision for their life. So that's really what any business should be. So as they're looking at, what do I want my life to look like? Would Skill Samurai get me closer to that? Then we can be a good fit. So, we have to tell them, if you are working full-time, you're going to have 2 full-time jobs for the first year or so. You and your family need to be okay with that. I can't say, it's not going to run itself. Eventually it will. But they need to train their staff to do that. And they need to really be invested to make that happen.
And that's the life of an entrepreneur right there.
Right.
It's about how it's going to go if you're going to try to get off the ground. I get that. So does the owner itself then, do they need to know coding? Do they need to understand all this stuff before you would consider them to be a franchisee?
No, and I don't still know how to do computer programming. But they can't be, we've all met people who say computers hate me, technology hates me.
Right.
It can't be that guy. We've tried that guy. It did not work because they can't do anything on their own.
Yeah.
Our training is pretty comprehensive. The initial training is about 100 hours. So we do 1 week in person, and then the rest of it is at home. They go through training on how to work with kids, how to work with bullies, deal with mean parents. And then they also do training on things like Minecraft and Roblox, so that at least they can talk to parents intelligently.
Yeah.
I always relied on my staff, and we hire 1st and 2nd year university students, typically in computer science, and they are usually able to answer any question. So I would be in the class, I wouldn't know, I'd say, hey, let's get David, and David would answer the question. We don't expect the owners to be able to do all the teaching.
Right.
Some teach a class or 2 because they are passionate about it and they like to be involved.
Yeah, that's good. So, and you mentioned it changes so quickly, so rapidly. So what does ongoing training and/or just support in general, what does that look like for your franchisees?
Yeah, we are enhancing that all the time.
Yeah.
So we do weekly calls, like a weekly coaching call. We do monthly calls for all of our owners. And then we have partners with some sales organizations and marketing organizations. So every day of the week, our owners could join a live training with one of our partners. Yeah. So, it might be sales on Monday, so they can join a sales call. And then we have a lot of technical resources. So we have manuals for everything from running a birthday party to a free trial class.
Oh, wow.
And then there's also things that you would expect, like help desks and help tickets. So if they have a problem, they're running into an issue, they can hopefully get help pretty quickly for it.
Yeah. What does the HQ team look like then behind the scenes for those owners?
Yeah, so it is a lot of me. We outsource a bit of it, but in the same way that I built the business, we work with partners. So we are partnered with a person named Howard Partridge, who is a really high-level sales trainer. So all of our owners also get a membership with him. Yeah. So they get to log into all of his calls and trainings. We are building right now, and in January we'll kind of announce a new partnership where they will have access to a coach and ongoing franchise training kind of as they need it. And then our support training, or support, technical support, again, since I'm not a programmer, that is kind of delivered through partners online as well.
Awesome. Yeah. So do you have any of the owners you have? Do you have any good success stories from your current owners that you can share with us? I'd love to hear just like, what does it look like to find success as an owner with Skill Samurai?
Yeah. So we have, our owner in Seattle was, when we talk about networking, she went and talked to one school, got 60 students signed up at that school that week.
Oh, wow.
Then she went and talked to the city of Redmond. They got her into the official city camp list. Would have been last January, and their camp sold out in 2 weeks. So she didn't have to do any marketing in either of those scenarios. It was all done through those partnerships, and it's really why it's so critical to build those partnerships with referring agencies. We have an owner in Australia. I hired him as a consultant for marketing, just to refine our marketing message. He loved the marketing message. He sold his marketing company, bought Australia and New Zealand. So he's been with us for 2 years. Last year, he sold 10 locations. This year, he's on track. He'll be on track to do 12. He has 250 people waiting to buy franchises. He built it. When anyone builds a business, I'm sure you talk to them about building it the way that you want it to look like with you not involved. So he built his first one, hired someone to run it, did his next 3, sold those, and then now he can focus entirely on selling. So we do see, those people who do the planning, who have that larger vision, they're successful because they are, there's economies of scale. Their center director can oversee 3 centers. Their robots can be shared between 3 centers or more. So it really is the kind of using your tools creatively to grow within your territory and beyond that.
Yeah, that is crazy growth. That's amazing. So tell us a little bit, and I get, you've got to be passionate and have a vision for helping develop the next generation, for helping educate them for the future, right? You've got to be passionate. However, in the same breath, passion, you can't fund the business on passion alone, right? We all know that. So tell us a little bit about what the investment does actually look like with franchise fees. Is there a minimum, maximum range? Kind of what does that look like for a potential owner?
Yeah, the on-the-go model, we've got it down to under $70,000. So that is getting it started. We have relationships with Best Buy, so a lot of your equipment just gets leased through them. So you're not having to buy any laptops and printers up front, which is fantastic. Even our brick and mortar, which again, we're trying to not really move away from, but we're seeing so much success on the go. That, is around anywhere between $100,000 and $300,000. But it really is just a 1,500 square foot rectangle with a storage room at the back, and then our furniture. So we try to keep the build out really simple. We don't want them spending $300,000 up front. We want it to be really manageable and help them, again, achieve their dreams.
Yeah. So they do need to lease a space, or can they run this from their home?
Yeah, sorry. We give them that option. This year, we really want owners to focus on running it from their home. So renting temporary spaces. And that way, it's $69,000, gets them up and running. They could be open in 90 days. So the turnaround time to launching is really good. You probably don't think about it. It's, at Christmas next week, our summer camps are on the website now. So if someone is looking to get started in June, January, February is actually the time to do that, or you'll miss the summer window. So when someone signs up, their website is live within 2 weeks and ready to start accepting registrations, even if they haven't been to training yet. So it's so important for us that they're able to start accepting registrations right away.
Right. Yeah. No joke. Well, with some of the crazy success that some of your owners have already found, like at the end of the day, like as much as even on the flip side of it too, right? Like even though people might be crazy passionate about this, if it doesn't provide what they're looking for, then they can't do it either. So like without making any earnings claims, because I'm not going to do that to you, like can you share a little bit about when a franchisee like could expect to see, when they could expect to see an ROI or anything along those lines when it comes to the financial side of success?
Yeah, our target for all of our owners at the end of year one is to have around 100 students. And when you think, oh, that's a big number, but if they were to go to any school in their community, are there 20 kids there that want to learn this? And if they go to 5 schools a week, can they get 20 kids at each of those schools? I'm pretty confident that they can. So our owners are charging anywhere from $149 to $179 per month for 4 classes. And we have, through the free trials, if you're following our plan, which is always kind of the catch-22 of a franchise, but our owners are able to add 10 students per month through free trials. So we've proven this system, the model works. So through that course, that first year, you're adding 10 students per month. You should hit 100 students. And then our summer camps as well. We run programs anytime that kids are out of school. So holiday camps at Christmas, spring break camps, summer camps. Typically, they are able to offer 10 weeks of camp per year. A lot of them, their maximum capacity is 20 per week. And depending on the city, I would encourage them to look at what other camps are charging in their city. And we charge around that. We're never the cheapest because we offer educational value. But we have owners charging anywhere from $399 to $499 per week of camp. So looking at 100 to 200 campers plus the monthly students. And then we also do things like birthday parties and date nights, and not date nights for the kids. Parents drop their kids off.
Just need to be clear.
Clarify that. Parents drop their kids off with us for like supper, then they're there for 2 or 3 hours, and then they get picked up. So we do have, 4 different revenue streams when you include the birthday parties and the parents' nights out.
Yeah, it's very unique. It's a unique way of thinking of different ways to create revenue as well. That's good. I don't know. I really don't of another competitor to Skill Samurai. I don't know of other franchise brands doing this. I'm sure they're out there. I'm sure you're probably aware of them. And so with that, as you've thought about how you compare or stack up with some of your competitors, like what would you say? Why should an elite entrepreneur who's watching this right now, why should they consider Skill Samurai over one of your competitors?
Yeah, that's a good question. First, a lot of them will have coding in the title, which is fine. But coding may not be a skill that's needed over the next 10 years when you still have that franchise agreement. Secondly, most of them offer 8 levels. So it would be comparable to martial arts belts. We have 4 different tracks. Each of them has 10 years of content. So if you signed up today, you could work for the next 40 years, 1 hour a week, and not exhaust your content. Wow. So those are both pretty big things. The other thing is we give so much flexibility to our owners. So they could have the brick and mortar, they can go to schools, they can be mobile. Our competitors charge you for each of those. So if you want to go to 5 schools, you have to pay a licensing fee for each of those schools. Our franchise fee is $49,000. It's for 10 years. And within your territory, you can run in as many different ways as you can. So you could be at 10 different schools. You could have a brick and mortar. We build partnerships with places like trampoline parks, use their party rooms. We really give the owners a lot of flexibility for how they want to run their business. And then we try to just help them succeed in doing that.
Yeah, that's so great. That's genius. Partnerships with where our kids, what do they want to, and where will they spend their time too, outside of school and the home, places like trampoline parks.
Exactly.
It's genius. Where if there was someone watching right now, or at a later date or whatever, and they've thought about this, they've looked at it, they've watched the interview, they've made it this far in today. How, like, if you had one shot, they're kind of on the fence. They're like,
Right.
man, I like this opportunity. I just don't know. I mean, it might seem kind of risky. Is this what I want to do the next 10 years? Like, if you had one shot to speak directly to someone who was kind of on the fence about investing into your brand as a franchise, what would you say?
Yeah, I think you've already kind of said it, that we are helping them build a business at the same time that we are preparing kids for the future. So you really get to see children's lives changed, and not just for them, but you are giving them skills that will change the next generation of this family, that they are really setting these kids up for success because of what they're learning. So if that is the kind of thing that motivates you, I haven't even covered our international development, but we sponsored, last year we built our first orphanage. We sponsor 20 kids in a safe house in Kenya, and we give them food, clothing, education, because I really want people to understand that this idea of empowerment through education isn't just what we do through our computer classes, but it's something that we can do globally. Even things we partner with a program to teach women business skills in Bangladesh. Education is such a powerful tool, and it's something that they get to teach these kids. And when you see the lights turn on, that they get the concept, that they get excited about it, that is really something that you don't get if you're selling food. Maybe like, oh, this is amazing. But you see these kids learn things and pick up things and develop things on their own, is really, there's nothing else quite like it from a business standpoint.
Wow. Yeah. I did not know any of that. And thank you for sharing that, because there's many people in this group who are all over the world, that are international, and not just in the United States. And so it's great to hear, even just the heartbeat, the philanthropic heartbeat of when we care about people. What can we do in our, within our space to help provide and change people's lives, and through the vehicle of education? I mean, it's an industry that's literally never going to go out of business. It doesn't matter what kind of pandemic is coming through or whatnot, or where the economy is. Like, parents are always going to find or want or desire education for their kids, and with a brand that is staying on top of an ever evolving industry. I mean, it's literally, it seems like the perfect recipe for success. And so, man, Jeff, I can't thank you enough for your time and your investment, your heartbeat for Skill Samurai, your compassion for people, and for making a difference with what you guys are doing. I am so excited to be a part of your journey, to see future success with other potential franchisee owners as well. And so I'm excited for all of that. If you are watching this and you're someone who you're like, man, I want to hear more, I want to talk to Jeff, I want to maybe look at what would it look like in my territory, or to open up in this state or in this country, in the comments, I posted a link to click on to take you to the qualification assessment. It'll take 5-10 minutes. Fill that out. If you're someone who qualifies, I'll connect you directly to Skill Samurai and to Jeff, and you guys can take it from there and go, hey, let's make this happen. And you will be on your way. As Jeff said, even in a couple of weeks, your website will be up, and in a couple of months, you will be open up and ready for business to serve your community. And so let's start there. That'll be the next step. And guys, I'm excited about what's going on in the future as well. We won't have an interview next week with Christmas, but we will starting the first week of January. Got a whole lineup of different brands coming at you as well. But Jeff, I just want to say thank you one more time, man. Seriously,
thank
for
you.
your time, your investment. This has been a treat. So thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, everyone. You guys have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and we'll see you at the New Year.